Hey you guys, we are back with another video, and this time we are getting into this juicy honey pineapple ham. You guys, this is what I look forward to every single Thanksgiving. So before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, and without further ado, so I get this ham from Walmart every single year. I do not remember the name of it, honestly, but this is usually I want to say one of the only hams that they usually have out here. And I always get the one in the purple wrapping. I think it's like brown sugar or something like that. But we are not going to be using the packet because we're going to be making our own glaze. So I just want you guys to just take a pair of scissors and just open that up really quick and open up the package that the ham is in. And what I did, once I opened that up, I just rinsed it off with some cold water. And now I'm going to be taking my Reynolds Kitchen oven bags, and I'm going to just lay that out into my foil pan here. I do recommend doubling up your foil pan because once all the water and all of that stuff gets inside of there, it is going to be a little bit heavy, and they do tend to bend sometimes. So now I'm just going to take my bag and open that up really nice and wide, just making sure that I can fit the ham in there really nice and easy. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my ham. I had it in a bowl, and I'm just going to sit it down with the top facing up. Just make sure that everything is really nice together. And now we're going to go ahead and start to make our little sauce. Now I'm going to be using pineapple slices in pineapple juice. I usually try to use the pineapple slices in syrup, in heavy syrup, but I couldn't find anywhere. Literally, I went to like 4 stores looking for it, but I couldn't find it. But if you do find pineapple slices in syrup, that is what I recommend using. And I'm just going to take a knife really quick and just pour out all of that juice from those cans. And do not throw away your pineapple slices. We're going to be using those a little bit later. So just empty them into a separate bowl, and then you can stick those inside of the fridge for the time being. Now we are going to go ahead and add in 1 whole cup of honey. And I'm just going to drop that straight in there. You don't have to heat it up or anything like that. The citrus in the pineapple juice, it's going to break it down and make it a bit like easier to work with. Next up, we're going to go ahead and add in 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And I use light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar if that's what you have. That's totally fine. Now I'm going to be taking my maraschino cherries. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. And I'm just going to be using some of the juice from that. It's going to be 1/4 cup, and just throw it on in there. I'm going to take my clove powder right now, and I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of that. And also some garlic powder and some onion powder as well. And I'm just going to mix that up really nicely. I'm not using any seasonings with salt just because hams usually do have a lot of salt in them. So you really want to be careful, especially if you're cooking for guests as well, because certain people have, high blood pressure and other stuff like that. So we're really not trying to have too much salt in here at all. The focus for the ham for me is just always to try to have like a nice sweet and tangy flavor. Now we're just going to mix this up really nicely, making sure that we're taking out any clumps of sugar that's in there and breaking up that honey as much as possible. Like I said, once you keep whisking, it's going to break apart because the citrus in the pineapple juice is going to take it apart. Already pre-sliced, you want to try to get it as much in those slices as possible, and be sure to scrape out all of that leftover sugar and honey that's to the bottom of the bowl as well. Now we are going to take our bag right here, and the box comes with 2 zip ties as well as 2 bags. Be careful not to lose these because I lose these all the time. And I'm just going to take that bag and just really try to get it not too tight, but where like there's not too much air in there. You want to squeeze out all of the extra air. So now I'm going to take the zip tie. I struggle a little bit with this, and I do it every single year. And I'm just gonna move the bag around and just make sure I'm trying to get like all of that juice all over that ham as well. And now we are going to go ahead and put it inside of our oven. I dropped my rack down to the second lowest part of the oven, and we're just gonna pop it in there at 350 degrees for about an hour and 20 minutes. And this varies depending on the size of your ham. Just try to follow the package instructions on how the cook time by pounds. Now for our glaze, I started my glaze when there was about 20 minutes left on top of the ham. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour in 1 cup of honey, half a cup of brown sugar. Like I said, I use light, but if you have dark, that works as well. Two tablespoons of soy sauce. I use light sodium soy sauce. And then 1/4 cup of the cherry juice. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix that up really well, just making sure that I'm breaking down all of that brown sugar and all of that honey, trying to get it as incorporated as possible. You can also use a whisk for this part, but I just had the spatula next to me from using it for the honey, so I was just using that as well. And we're going to be cooking this on a medium to high heat, and we're going to bring it all the way up to a simmer. So in the meantime, while that is coming up to your simmer, your ham should be finished. If it is finished, go ahead and just let it deflate for a couple seconds. I don't know if you guys can see right here, but it's just taking out most of that hot air, so it doesn't like pop when you poke it, basically. Now I'm going to be taking a sharp pair of kitchen scissors, and I'm just going to be busting that bag open. Be very, very careful because, like I said, there is a lot of hot air inside of here, so you can get burned from that. And really quick, before I took off the bag completely, I'm just gonna take a spoon or whatever you guys have. If you have a baster, you can use that as well, but I didn't have one as yet, so I'm going to be taking my spoon and I'm just gonna basically baste that ham with all of those juices that it was just cooking in, and making sure that I'm getting it all in between those slices there as much as possible. There's no set amount times to do this, just whenever you feel content, you just stop and you go ahead, but you just want to make sure that you're getting everything with that juice as well. So once you're finished basting, you are going to go ahead and clear whatever space is next to you. You can put a bowl next to you, or you can grab your trash bin and put it right next to you, right beside the counter. And I'm just going to recommend that you take a spoon and you use one hand to try to pull the bag off. It is a little bit tricky, so take your time and be careful because it is hot as well, and it's going to be dripping the juices and stuff from the sauce. So I just put that inside of the spoon. I'm just gonna drop it straight into the trash. Now our sauce has came up to a simmer. It's gotten nice and thick. Now this next ingredient is completely optional, but it's just one of my favorite things to do. You're gonna go ahead and add in 1/4 cup of your favorite whiskey, or you can use rum or cognac, whatever you want to use, just any type of liquor. Honestly, it really does bring out a pop into that ham as well. My recommendation would be whiskey, but it's whatever you have, and like I said, this is completely optional, is not needed. And then I just went ahead and just cooked that down some more until it got thick again. And I actually forgot to record this part, which is so funny because I was looking forward to that shot so much of me pouring that glaze over that ham. But I poured it over. You can see me trying to see if I can get anything out of the cup, which is like so hilarious to me. but I just poured it straight over it. And then I laid down my pineapples. There's no set fashion to do it, just do whatever you think is really pretty. I could have put some more to the back there, but I really didn't want to because I thought it was pretty just with 3. And you're gonna go ahead and put on your pineapple rings and your cherries as well. If your ham is kind of like lopsided and whatever and it's not sitting well, you can use toothpicks to stick that in as well. Now I just popped that back inside of the oven for another 30 minutes on 350 again, and this was the finished product right here. This ham is super juicy. It's always the talk of the entire Thanksgiving. We're a ham family, so definitely take my advice because I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.